Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Too Much to Say. I'm your host, Manal.
And I'm Anisa, and we just always have too much to say.
Yeah, we're really excited about this episode actually. We're gonna take you around the world.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm mad comfortable today. Just on my pillow, comfy vibes.
Yeah.
Manal's here.
I'm not. I'm figuring out. I'm trying to get comfortable. I've been told I'm not comfortable. I don't look comfortable. So if you see that I'm not comfortable, please don't send us any DMs.
Like, Manal.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't.
So that you can get a bit more comfortable, Manal. Let's play a little game.
I mean, I'm comfortable, but like my seating position is giving.
It's giving, hi, welcome to this interview. How can I help you? I am here today.
I am here today.
Yeah. Why do we do this every time?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, guys. So today's episode is a very special one to us because we really, alhamdulillah, first of all, give God all the glory all the time.
Yes.
All the time. We've been blessed enough to travel to some really cool places and experience some really cool things.
Yes, we did.
And there's just like little tidbits and stuff that we've learned. So today we want to take a journey down that road of the places we've been to, the experiences we've had, and just kind of have a little chinwag with you guys about it. So Manal, can we start with a game first?
No.
Oh my god. Last episode we were practicing how to say no, and today I was gonna say no.
I feel like I excelled at it.
No, you excelled.
I've said no
Round of applause. She
10
excelled.
times this week.
You have. I'm proud of you. So proud of you. Yes.
Yes.
Speaking
No.
of things. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna play a game with you. Okay. I have some letters on my card, and you've got some letters on your card. We don't have the same letters. We're gonna play a game. It's called the travel letter game. I just made it up.
Okay.
Okay. The teacher and me made it up. Okay.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is each of us is gonna say a letter, and we both have. Well, the person has 5 seconds to name either a country or a city that begins with that letter. 5 seconds.
Are you ready?
Because last time we did 10 seconds and I was too right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cause
So
I
are you
am.
gonna go first?
Yeah.
So rock, paper, scissors it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yes, I get to go first.
I mean, it was best out of 3.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I was about to do that. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yes.
Okay, you go.
I got it.
Okay, go.
All right, Manan. The first letter is O.
Osaka.
Hey, that was too fast. Because we were talking about Japan in it, that's why.
I know. I think, I would have struggled with that one because it
Yeah.
did take me a second. I was like, oh, yeah.
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 The second letter is E.
Eritrea.
Whoa, she's too fast. The third letter is P.
Pakistan.
That was 4 seconds. You're going to get this one. The fourth letter is Y.
Zanzibar. Zanzibar.
No, Yemen. What
Yemen.
do you
Oh my
mean?
God.
Sorry, Jeff, for
Sorry.
screaming in your ear.
Let's do it again.
No,
Redo.
you lost that one. So that you got 3. No, you got 3 so far. I
Why?
was like so confident you're going to get
Yemen.
it.
Yes. Damn it.
And the last
Damn
letter.
it. I said Zanzibar.
Zanzibar.
Just
Well, the last letter is Z.
Zanzibar.
Okay, so you got 4 out of 5. Let me see if I can beat that.
Okay. It's
Go.
easy. Give yourself the easy ones. A.
Azerbaijan,
F.
Finland,
G.
Georgia,
J.
Japan,
L.
London. I was just like, ah!
Oh man.
You know
I want to
what's
win in games, but
so
you know what? I'm
bad.
not competitive. If you've ever played it, I really am not. If you've ever played a game with me, if you win, I'm always like, you know, what?
I'm sorry,
Give her a Q.
the letter Q. Quebec. What?
Queensland.
What? Okay, what? Is there a country that starts with X?
Xcaret.
Or a city?
Xcaret. Xcaret. In Mexico. In Mexico.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, Xcaret is with an X.
Okay.
Come to us for
Shout
all
out-
your country and city needs.
A shout out to
Yeah.
our producer Zarina, who was chucking in the letter there.
Yeah, she
We
said
appreciate
Q.
it. She said
And
Q.
She said this, and I was like, what is that?
That's Q.
Q.
I thought it was like
So if anyone ever does this, it's a Q,
Q.
guys.
All right. So going swiftly into. Is there something on my teeth? Okay. Sorry. guys.
Yes. A smile. When was the last time someone flirted with you? Why'd you blush?
I got blush.
Why'd you just blush like that? Because I was like,
I don't
you got a
do well.
smile on your face, baby.
I don't do well with compliments. That's what that's to me. I'm telling your mom.
She'll come and she'll do the same thing. She'll be like,
you know I can't wink.
You.
I can't wink.
I know we talked about this. Okay, let's try it. I want
to wink.
Did you just try a wink?
Yeah.
What was that?
Okay,
that was
I'm not gonna do it
blink.
again. Okay, so question of the week, Manal. What is a travel experience that taught you an unexpected lesson about yourself or the world, and how did it change your perspective?
Whoa. So I've got two.
Okay, chat to us.
But I'm gonna start with the first.
Okay.
Is when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom really took us around the world.
Same.
Around the world.
And when I asked for £10 to go shop, she didn't have it. But holidays, she had money.
Yeah. So traveling, one thing she taught me when I was younger, and I don't think she was doing it on purpose. Yeah. I just really think either she did it, like, I don't want to say she was struggling with it or she didn't, but maybe she was like managing multiple things, like our passports and, you know, all these different things. But one thing she used to make me do was hold on to the passports and hold on to the tickets. So our boarding passes would be with me. And she would tell me to find the gate. And so I would navigate us
so
to the
many
airport.
Responsibilities.
And then when we get into the city, she would say, what do you want to do? And I'm just like, are you joking? I didn't plan this holiday. And I remember I was just a kid. But you remember how back in the day you had the maps, like the city maps?
Yeah.
And the one that stuck in my head was the London map. Yeah, she would just open it. Like, she would be like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, oh. Yeah, and that's when I learned that, like, the city maps, back in the day, they had all the main landmarks. So she would ask me, where do you want to start? And then based off of that, we would like navigate to get there, or like take the bus or take the metro or the bus. I know. And I tried to do that with the kids, but I feel like that really taught me the biggest lesson. And the second, not to keep it long, the second one was a couple of years ago, I traveled with the kids to Costa Rica. And it was like, to be fair, like, as a Somali, in our Somali culture, like traveling with kids alone or like traveling alone as a woman, like, it's like, oh, you know, be safe. Like, you're going to go into a new country. It's going to be like dangerous and all these things. And my mom was like losing her mind. She was like, there's no way you're going to go to the end of the world and like take the kids with you. Just you and the kids. You don't have any friends there. Well, no, I don't have any friends. You don't know anyone there. Yeah. But I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit scared. There was a little bit of like self-doubt, because you're like, oh, what if I don't have an amazing time and it's not close to anywhere? Yeah. And I had a terrible experience with someone I used to call a friend that left me a pork wrapper on my pillow. But anyways, let's not talk about that. So the idea of being alone, what she didn't know is that gave me so much PTSD because I was essentially abandoned. Like, I was abandoned in a city that I knew nothing of, but I followed you because you said, come to my country and follow me. Yeah. And so you did, and then you just flipped me and said nothing.
This wasn't Costa Rica, by the way. This was a previous experience.
That's what I said. I said it was a different country. So because of that, I was like, oh my God, what if, again, like, I find myself alone and there's no one there? But when I got there, I had booked like this entire like package with a travel agency. I would suggest that for parents, especially if you're traveling alone with younger kids. So I did that and I surprised myself. And when I came back, I felt like a super woman.
No, we were so proud of you.
I was like, oh my God, I did it. They so many stories to share. It still is one of their favorite. And I think it gave them an example of how to like just go with it and go with the flow.
Go with the flow, yeah.
And trust your gut and like explore new cities. Kind of what my mom did. So,
I love that.
I know.
By the way, can I just say I was so proud of you? Really? That whole time, remember I was messaging you, I was like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, it was.
And if anything happens, I'm a flight away because I will come.
I know. That's something we don't think about. Of you. But we're going to talk about the second part of it, but we'll talk about it later. It's just, it really is scary, you know? Like for me, what people don't understand is like I put on like such a brave face and I'm like, why am I getting emotional? Anyways, but like I put on such a brave face, but there's so much you have to think about. You have to think about their expense. You have to think about their food, their money, them making sure that they enjoy the trip. And like, you're like traveling now they're about to be 4 adults. So you're like, the country that you go to, you don't want to come back to it. So you want to do everything. And I have anxiety. So the anxiety, managing the three of them, making sure everybody is happy. It's a lot.
When I tell you superhuman, you are honestly superhuman for doing it. And not even just once. Like this woman has done this a couple of times.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for you.
God.
You know what's scary? Like, I don't have no kids yet, but I swear, man, and I don't even know if I've ever told you this, but I'm going to tell you this on the pod. But I'm going to tell you again and again in life. Like, you have set the bar on motherhood so high for me that, like, I don't even want to cry about it. We're not going to cry because we're thugs and I don't cry on the internet. But, like, I feel comfort in, like, whenever I become a mom, whether I give birth or adopt, whatever way I do it, whenever I become a mom, I just know I'll pick up the phone and be like, Manal. And I know.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I just know I can see you doing it day to day. And I'm just like, yo, I'm actually going to, like, I'm so blessed that I could see it in real time.
In real time. You see it in real time.
Apart from our moms, I don't know if you have anybody else that you can like motherhood.
You're not seen, and that's why it always wakes me up, because you are doing things, and you're not expecting any return, and they're kids. So in their mind, that's another day, because they're like, mom's gonna make the holiday great,
right? But not even just holiday, just the day to day. Like the other day, we went out for dinner, and me and one of our other friends was there, and we were just at awe of like the babies. They're not babies. They're big kids. They're just about to be teenagers. To me, they're babies.
Yeah.
But we were just like, me and my friend was sitting there, and we were talking about like how like amazing it was. It came to like the food order, and then her kids were like directly like, I want this, I know what I want. They were so clear, they communicated so clearly, they clarified what they want, what they didn't want. It was so beautiful to watch. Me as a grown woman, I'm taking 10 hours to choose, and they just know,
they just knew,
and they just have like their sense of like self. And it was so beautiful to see.
Yeah, because we struggle with it sometimes.
Yeah, and I was like, we had to give you your props right there. I'm giving you your props all the time.
I appreciate
you. did so good with them.
Thank you, Mom.
And I know they're watching, and I know they're proud.
I know. I know they are. But it's not easy. Someone said, why do you need like any support, with the kids or whatever? You travel with them, like you look like you're doing fine. You look like you're doing good. And I'm always like, you don't understand. It's not just about money. It's meant like
you do it then.
Physically.
I'm like, you do it then. Sorry, I got heated a little bit because I know it was.
But it's that, and then but you don't understand. You go on the trip. You're out there in a foreign country.
In a new place.
You're navigating the city, the country, their safety, their food, their different temperaments.
Everything.
Yours parked.
And you're still trying to, out of this, find enjoyment, right? Try to make them happy.
Park. And then, now we find the balance. But anyways, it's for another episode. It's just, there's a lot. Like travel is such a growth moment.
I do want you to have a think about, because it's probably going to be a question that some of the listeners might have. It's like, maybe have a think about it, and maybe we can write it down, or maybe we can share it, or maybe we can record a separate video. But like tips and tricks for a solo mom traveling with kids. Like what things do you do? Like, for example, do you put like air tags on the kids? Do you open your location? Do you like just little things that you do? Yeah. Have a think about it. But I really think that would be so helpful for other like solo moms.
Yeah, I've always wanted to share something like that, because there's so many things that I've learned.
No, really, you should.
So definitely we'll have a think. And
I know what's crazy. We have such a similar story, because like my mom was very big. She even has this thing where my uncles and my cousins would always say to her, like, taxi. Like, you make the airplane like a taxi, because that's how often she's on a plane, right? My mom would even take trips, and we'd find out that she's gone. Like, we'd go to school, we'd come back, and my mom went
gone
somewhere. Yeah.
That's crazy. Listen, my mom,
so like, I want a flight. Catch me. But she was a businesswoman, so like it was work trips and stuff. Yes. But then every summer, without fail, she would take us. And as we got older, because there's too many of us, as we got older, the older siblings stopped going. But me, I moved here when I was 20. Up until the summer that I was 19, I was always going on trips with my mom. I never like paused.
Yeah.
Every summer, where are you going? And there was one summer, she tried to go without me. I found out the night before. That same night she booked a ticket, she had to take me. She was trying to take
there's no way
she was trying to take my brother to Canada. there's no way I'm coming. Of course I'm coming. Mom was like, but you have work, and I did have work. I said, forget work.
I'm taking a day off.
It was a summer work experience thing. I was like, I don't have to do it. Like, I'm coming.
I'm coming. So there's no way.
My mom was very big on like seeing the world, and there's life outside London. Like, so before even moving here, I had already done like 30 something countries, right? Then I moved here, and it was like a coping thing for me to be like, I want to travel to these different places. And I'm so happy that before COVID, because when COVID happened, everything kind of slowed down. I was counting the other day, I was gone to 33 countries before COVID. Wow. Like back 2011 to 2019. There was a point my mom would call me and she'd be like, where in the world are you? Yeah. I'm like, oh, like mother, like daughter.
Yeah, look where I am today. Send her a selfie.
Look who told me. And she'd be like, Hasbi Allah, never looking. Like she wouldn't believe it, but it's true. But I'll tell you something that, an unexpected lesson. You talked about traveling with the kids. My mom always says your kids are like just pieces of you in real, like, she's like, it's pieces of your body out in the world.
Yep.
So she was like,
so your heart with legs.
Yeah. And she goes, it doesn't matter how old you guys get. My oldest brother's almost 50 and my mom still worries about him and still, it doesn't really matter. But like when I travel by myself, I find peace in it. I've never traveled with my ex-husband. Like I've never traveled with a male. I've only ever traveled with my family. And this one time I went on a girls' trip. Let me tell you why I'll never do it again. When you travel with someone, you really, really, really see who
you get to know them.
Oh my!
They tell you if you want to get to know someone, you have to travel.
The only way I would do it now, and I'm saying this like clearly, the only way I would do this now is like if it's a business trip or whatever, or if it's someone that like we have our boundaries or we've had like conversations and you just kind of understand. And it'll probably be like a maximum 2 people, maximum. One other person or 2 max, right? I went with 10 girls.
No, 10 is pushing it. You asked for it, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, 10 girls?
Anything you asked for it.
I did. I went with 10 girls. We went to the Seychelles, which was nice. It was for a birthday trip. I regretted all 4 days. That was my second time there. I'd been there one time before. That was my second time. And then I'd gone back one more time because I was like, I need to.
You were like, I need more.
I need more. But the thing that happened was I went with people who are from different parts of the world. So there's different levels of understanding. There's different languages, all of that. The other thing that I realized is I have a very high tolerance level. I tolerate a lot. I learned that at that trip. I have a very high patience. That's why I'm really, I can deal with
You are
kids.
easygoing, yeah.
I can deal with things. I will let things go. I tolerate a lot. There's people that like they can't. They'll snap, my sister. They'll snap, they'll whatever. But for me, I've always been, but that trip tested me. Like to the point where I was like, I wanted to book the second day I wanted to go home. I want to go home. What that showed me was, first of all, I should never be traveling with people that I don't know like that.
Yeah.
That's number one. You don't know them like that. And the second thing it taught me was I could not have joy if I didn't have peace of mind. I couldn't fake it.
No.
All right, let's go scuba diving. I'm not scuba diving. I'm not going what's the thing? Zip lining. I'm not doing none of these fun activities because I genuinely don't want to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
And it was always like something that I thought I could handle, but I couldn't. So after that, I never did it again. I never traveled with people. I always still traveled by myself. My thing for traveling on my own is it always taught me more about myself.
Yeah.
I have a very, very, I'm very self-aware. I do a lot of self-auditing. I find a lot of joy in traveling on my own. It was such a taboo for me as a Somali woman to be traveling by myself. First of all, for me as a Somali woman to leave my house at 20, my family house. There's a saying, a Somali saying, gabadha, either waxay joogtaa guriga hooyadeed ama guriga ninkeed. Meelka ama qabriga. It's either she's at home, her family house, her husband's house, or in the grave. Like there really isn't anywhere else that she should be culturally, right?
But gladly, like in our families, none of that. Like my mom was like, "When are you leaving to travel?"
Yeah, your mom, my mom
has been pushing me to go. Yeah,
but my
mom was like, "When are you going to move to New York? Or when are you going to go and do your master's and do your PhD?" And I was like,
but they left. But the thing is, they broke that. But they also had the marriage aspect of it saving them. I'm a single. Like I've got no placement in their eyes, right? So I went against the grain. It probably wasn't like the easiest to do, But wholeheartedly, Manal, for every young woman watching this, I always say, if there's one thing you do, I know they encourage us to get married. I know our culture is very big on marriage. And yes, but before you leave your father's house or your family home, I highly, highly encourage any young woman watching this to travel. If you can on your own, but obviously you're supposed to travel with a mahram. But if you can, solo travel. And
it's interesting that you say that because I traveled with my mom most of the majority of the time. But then I went to New York. But once I went to New York and came back and got married, I didn't travel with my husband except for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
So for the 6 years of the marriage, I didn't travel much except to go see my family in Holland. Like, I didn't do much. So there was a big gap, a big travel. So coming from this girl that was traveling all the time with her mom, when I graduated, I went for trips to like Milan, to Paris. Like I was going for exhibitions. But then I went to New York, then I came back and I got married, and then there was like a big gap of traveling.
Yeah.
And now I have responsibilities. So the idea of solo travel, which goes back to your point, which is if you're young, you have to travel.
It's an opportunity.
You have to, yes, you have to travel with a mahram, but come on, like your parents raised you well. You know how to behave. You know how to conduct yourself.
Absolutely.
You know how to stay safe.
Yeah.
But do it, because there will be things that in your future that will kind of not stop you, because you still can go on with your life, but you have responsibilities. And the older we get, if you have a family, if you've got kids, it's hard. It's not like I could pack my suitcase and just be like, and someone said, you've got to be spontaneous. For who?
No. Have you seen that meme? Your friends who have no kids will be like, let's go to Africa on Friday.
Yeah, not me. It was, let's go to Phuket on Saturday. And I was like, I need 6 months to think about it.
Yeah.
It's hard. So travel, you're right. Like travel.
No, honestly, I will say solo traveling really, really saved my life. It helped me heal from things. It helped me understand myself. It helped me see the world. It helped me know and understand that there's just more to life.
And get to know yourself, right?
Yeah, but there's more to life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going through things and you're in your bubble and the darkness and it feels like it's overwhelming. That's why if I can't leave the country or travel, I try to go near water. Maybe it's because I'm an Aquarius. I don't really believe in that type of stuff. I try to go somewhere.
I think it is because that's why I love trees.
What are you?
Capricorn.
Yeah. That's probably why.
That's why I love the trees.
I always say, like, traveling helps you understand that there's so much more to the world than your issues and your thing. And then you come back and you're just kind of like, I don't really. And you know what's crazy? I think I shared the story before on my YouTube channel years ago, but one of the main reasons why I even started Kids Unplugged was on a trip to Vietnam.
Wow.
I went to Vietnam on a solo trip. I think it was one of the Eids. I couldn't remember. But I was outside the resort. And it was a very beautiful, I wasn't in Ho Chi Minh, I was in another city called Hue. And it's got like this beach area, whatever. Anyways, and I saw these kids that were playing football, but they were playing football with like bottles and something that they put together. And they were kicking it about. And then there was these two girls that were like, they were digging something. And they were just, people were just doing like random stuff, but just having so much fun and not a single device in sight. And I was like, man, if I could take this to the UAE and the UAE kids could do this, would be amazing. And so I wouldn't have known that if I didn't go to Vietnam on that random summer. You know what I mean? Yeah. So traveling.
By the way, you can tell the difference between someone that is well-traveled and someone that's not. And can I talk about the differences?
Chat to us.
The differences are those that are well-traveled. I'm not saying you have to go to 100 countries
or
in
the
your
same
lifetime, or the same. No, I'm not even saying that. I'm even just leaving to go to another culture, to another country with another culture, with a culture completely different to yours.
Yeah.
Your mind expands. My mom said the reason I used to make you guys travel is so that your brain can expand, your potential expands. So you're not like, oh, all I can do is this. All I can go, the places I can go are these places.
Yeah, 100%.
It's more. So what ends up happening is you adjust to different cultural differences. You adjust to different people's like style of communicating.
Yeah.
You are a little bit more understanding. And I noticed that, and I see that sometimes in people that I come into contact with. You can tell the ones that are cultured and well-traveled, and the ones that are not so much. The ones that don't understand and get offended by other people's cultures and things like that are the ones that aren't really familiar. They came from they were in a bubble. They came from a bubble and came to another bubble. Let's be honest. That's not traveling.
Literally.
And it's like you can tell that their mind is still so small, and that affects the way that you deal with people. That affects the way that you accept people for what they are, who they are, how they communicate with you. Because what we don't understand is we communicate differently.
Yeah.
If you don't, you'll be like, why is this person talking so close to me? Or why does this person talk all the time with their hands? Or why do they do this? Or why do they do that? And you're like, it's what they are. You no longer, you don't have to, you're not even thinking about that because you already accept that person. The other person would be like, I just find it annoying that that person talks like this or does that. And I'm like, it's how it is. So I definitely, I agree with you. I think you have to travel. And if you're a couple, please travel. And if you're, if you're alone, like a girl, guy, whatever, solo travel.
Solo travel.
So many offers out there. Like, don't save for it. Travel the world. The world, Allah created the world for us to mix together, to travel, to explore.
Absolutely. No, 100%.
Like, it's not just...
And even that, like, for me, leaving London at such a young age, traveling, I always say this, and it's kind of a little bit sad that I say this, but I always felt like London wasn't home. Or like it wasn't home, or it wasn't where I was going to grow old. I always felt like that. From like 6 or 7 years old, I always knew, like, London was just not home. I'd go home, I'd go travel in the summer, I'd come back, and I'd already be thinking about the next summer wherever we're going.
Yo, you know what is so sad?
Yeah.
That statement itself is so sad.
Yeah.
And not for you, but for like all of us Somalis, because wherever we are, and I think that's why you'll meet a lot of men, if not all Somalis have traveled a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Even the ones in Somalia have come to Dubai, they've gone to London, they've gone to Kenya, they've traveled.
We don't stay put.
We don't stay put. But those of us that are outside after the war, whatever, whether it was coming for opportunities like my parents, or whether it was after the war, whatever it was, where we are is never home. So it's like the communities we built, the friendships, and it goes back to the topic of friendships. And that's why we take friendship so it's friendship is so important family. Because that is family. That's home. Because we're missing that feeling of home. We're missing that sense of belonging. You always have to get accustomed to someone else's traditions and cultures.
100%.
And your cultures and traditions are not so grounded. They're not so there, because how could they be? You're not home.
You're not home.
So you're neither able to take on someone else's cultures and traditions,
because you never enough of
yours is kind of watered down, let's be honest. And now the world is telling you, but that's not how Somali people do. That's not what we do. And now you've got your own people. And then you've got religion, so many things. But that is a lot for us.
I agree. I really agree.
And not just us. Surely there are other people that have experienced the same thing, like, of course, but it's such a sad thing. And people don't understand why we take like friendships, communities, why we're so loyal. Our loyalty is not because we need you or because we want you. It's like, or we don't travel because like, oh, like I've got money so I can travel. No. We are looking for pieces of home in the world, and it's so sad.
And that's why I say, like, again, like, even if you look at it from an Islamic point of view, to the believer, the world, you'll always be a stranger in the world, right? So I've always felt like a stranger. I've always felt like I just was like, that's why people talk to me of like property. Oh, you're going to buy a home in London, you're going to buy a home. I'm just like, I don't
really know.
It doesn't even, I don't really care. I mean, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. If I already have it, I have it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't like, so. Yeah. Ooh, I like the fact that we talked about this. Yeah. We're going to jump into a dilemma. Because the dilemma that I have today is a real dilemma. And someone actually shared this with me. And so I thought, let me tell it to Manal. And maybe I could tell you a bit more than what I've written down. And we can kind of go into it. So, this is my friend's count, yeah? She goes, I was really excited.
This is your friend's what?
Her count, her version of the story, yeah? She said, I was really excited to travel with friends and I made so many wonderful plans. By the way, it's not my situation.
Right.
I've already told you my situation.
Okay,
This is somebody else. I was, say it again. I was really excited to travel with friends and made so many wonderful plans. But when we got to our destination, I realized they were actually mean.
They were?
Mean.
Mean?
Yeah, they were mean to her.
Okay.
They left me out of activities and even abandoned me alone at a restaurant. I felt so hurt and disrespected. And now that we're back, I'm torn. Should I confront them about their behavior and try to salvage the friendship, or is it better for me to walk away from this toxic group? So just a little bit more detail. She went on a girls' trip. It was 4 of them. So they all were like sharing the 2 and 2. But what happened was 3 of them ended up going into like one room and she was by herself in the room. That was number 1. Then they'd always make plans without her. Then they would always kind of like go to the restaurant, book this, do different things. It would just be really shady, being really mean, and then just kind of like laughing about it and being like, oh, I thought you were sleeping. I thought you were this, being very dismissive. So she said, should I confront them about their behavior and try to salvage the friendship? Okay.
Which is come back to your house. That's what my mom would say. But I mean, I have questions. It's an incomplete question, isn't it? Because
now she's back. So she's like, should I be their friend or should I like talk to them about it?
It's very important to like have open dialogue, right? Like you have to be. Why are you traveling with people that you don't know?
No. They've been friends for years. They've been friends for
so they know each other.
Over 10
so
years.
something must have happened.
So like, Hoya would say,
Hoya would say,
Mama would say, yeah,
but the country doesn't belong to them. First of all, I would be making my own plans. No one's leaving me out of anything. As a matter of fact, I'm doing skydiving. I'm doing, I was going to say skinny dipping. Not going to do a skinny, I'm not. But I'm going to zip lining. That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to say zip lining, but it came out as skinny dipping. Sorry, it's not. But zip lining, I would do the zip lining and I would take pictures and post it and let you guys know what an amazing time I had. And then make new friends on my trip.
Yeah.
And post it on my WhatsApp status.
Not the WhatsApp.
So just in case you blocked me on Instagram, you used to have my number saved.
Not the WhatsApp status.
Absolutely. I'm doing it, me and my gang. My new friends. Wallahi, what the hell? So, and then I would come back home. And then I would say, because what if she's done something to them? You don't know. It's always one-sided, you know?
No, my thing is, I understand that sometimes like people do things and people act out, whatever. But here's my thing about trips. Again, I had my own experience on a girl trip. We're each other's keepers. We're in a foreign place. There is a sense of loyalty that like we should have when we've left our home, that no matter what, we stick together.
Because you, as a good person, you think my mom always used to tell me the 10 fingers of her hand are not the same. Even these 2 aren't the same.
Yeah.
People aren't the same.
I understand that. But like when we've decided, like I think it's, maybe it's me. It's like an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
That like if we've gone together, we're just a pact. Yeah. Manal, if you and I travel together,
I'll be honest with you, I've unpacked my things, stopped the taxi, unpacked my things from the trunk of the car, and I already had a taxi waiting on the side of the road. I'm not lying. For me, I'm like deuces.
No, I'm saying if you and I had traveled together, there's an unsaid rule of loyalty.
Yes.
But we've been friends. They've been friends for over 10 years. There should be like that. Like, okay, maybe she did do something. Maybe there's something that they like don't agree with. Yeah, cool. But like, you've gone to another country for people to be mean to you and make you feel less than. That's not nice.
Yeah, it's not nice, but at the same time, when you're traveling, you're going into a foreign ground, be prepared for everything. And we talked about this. You said it. Like you said, you have to know. And that's how you get to know your friends, right? You travel with them, you live together. Like, what are the 2 places? In dorms, when you share a dorm room together, and when you travel together, because those are both like quick adjustments. Like you just started university, now you're living with someone.
Yeah.
Or you travel with someone, you're in a new country, you're navigating all these different things, and now you get to know how nasty your friend is, you know, leaving their clothes on the floor or things like that. So
no, I get it.
I don't know.
So sis, I would say have a conversation. What would you
I would say have a conversation. Like, even though I packed my things out, I had a conversation. And after the conversation, I found out that one of the other friends had been misinforming them about things I've been saying.
Yeah.
So had I not had the conversation,
you wouldn't have known.
I wouldn't have known. Because not everybody's pure. Remember, 10 fingers of our hand are not the same.
Yeah.
Not everybody's pure. Maybe one of them is, you know, a rotten apple.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So have a conversation and find out where the poison is coming from.
I don't believe in like just the cutting off. Have a conversation, see what's happening, see why they're doing the same thing, doing that. And for me, I just want to travel with them again. Never again.
Duh. Are you joking?
Facts.
Sorry, we can go to the movies together. Beach day, 10 hours.
Not even.
All right.
Okay, so just to round off the episode, seeing as we've both traveled and we've gone to amazing places, I want you to give us your top 3 places that you visited and that you've loved. Your top 3 that you visited and loved.
Okay. So I'm going to say...
Or if you can't think of the top 3 you visit and love, what's your top 3 dream destinations? Like, where would you love to go?
No, the ones I love... Well, dream, I'm going to do 2 of places I loved, 1 dream.
Okay, let's do that.
1 dream destination is I want to go to Japan. I want to go to
Japan yet?
I have not.
Oh,
because cherry blossoms are
your thing?
my thing.
Okay,
I just want to be showered in cherry blossoms. I just want to be rolling on like cherry blossoms.
We have to make sure we go in cherry blossom.
That's I want to do cherry blossom season.
Okay, so Japan dream destination. What's your
the other 2 places? So I went to Zanzibar, and the first time I went to Zanzibar, I made so many friends on the beach.
I love that.
And I went back there 3 other times or 4 times in Jan. I go down, I think the guys at the airport know me, like, hi. And I just go to the same, like the restaurants, and like I feel like I've built like a community. It's so strange. So I know when I go to Zanzibar, like I've already got friends. I remember sitting by the beach, like just having conversations with, you know, different people building hotels, people coming, you know, to move to Zanzibar for, you know, forever. And they're just here transitioning. So many beautiful stories.
I love that.
With them. And now I have
and another one.
I'm gonna say Costa Rica.
Yeah?
Yeah. I felt like home.
Yeah?
Yeah. Costa Rica was perfect. It just made me feel like home. Like I felt like I belonged.
Yeah.
It was so strange.
Yeah.
The nature, the greenery, the oceans, different like kinds of food, every corner of the country. Like it just felt so wholesome. But I think also it's because it was personally challenging for me mentally and physically and emotionally. I do that. It was a big step. Loved it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, loved it. What's yours?
My dream destination, which I always talk about, and everyone thinks I'm crazy for it, but we're doing it. Madagascar. I was trying to convince our friend the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, come with me. And he was like, over my dead body.
Wow,
why? I said, come. Because Madagascar has like all these like rainforests and tropical stuff and animals that people don't know of.
Right.
So he was like, over my dead body. So that, I don't know. But I think he'll come. I'll convince him.
Okay.
So Madagascar is my dream destination. My 2 favorite places, Mauritius, top. My retirement, Mauritius, I'm telling you now. I found, I went on that trip to Mauritius during the Eid al-Fitr. My driver was Muslim. Tell me why I ended up going to their family house for Eid dinner.
Wow.
He was just like, come to my house. I know it's not safe, but it's a Muslim country and I felt safe. And they invited me for Eid dinner at their house. Beautiful. It was just beautiful.
That's the simple things of travel though.
Right? And then the second place that I've loved, for me, it's between Vietnam and South Korea.
Yeah.
They were 2 vibe, like they were so different, but I love both of them.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking about Vietnam for this summer. I've been thinking about some.
Go.
Yeah.
Go.
I know, but
it's so kid friendly.
Is there no like
so
what is it, typhoon or monsoon season?
I don't know about the weather.
Some season.
I don't know about the weather. But
we'll check. We're gonna do some research.
Yeah. Well, that is it for our episode today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed listening to us and our stories and our little anecdotes. As always, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you in our next video.
Thank you guys for watching and listening.
All of the above.
And there is it. All right.